Hi there, this is Pranav from DBS Diary. Good morning, afternoon, evening, depending on your geographic location. I hope you are doing great. So I was getting multiple suggestions, and there were many people who were asking that when I am starting the Sybase training. So I shall be starting that very soon. So before that, what I have done is I have compiled or drafted the list of topic which I shall be covering in my session. That will be like training session, and I want to see first of all how many of you are really interested. So please share your interest or express your interest either on my LinkedIn page or on my YouTube, or you can just even send me an email, and also you can comment on my website. So anywhere you can do, you can express your I mean whether you're interested or no. So if you're interested, then based on that I will compile list of people who will be attending the session, and then I shall be recording the videos and I shall be sharing with them, and they can go through that. So this will be not like one time. So I will be having a recorded session, and you can access them for next 1 year or something like that. So and before that, thank you for tuning, and I really appreciate you subscribing to my channel and also liking the content. So thank you very much. My family like Sybase training and Sybase channel and all these things that I have recorded in the past, Sybase and MS SQL. So it has reached close to 1100. So thank you very much for subscribing and going through the content, and also passing your feedback in terms of comment, and also I have received few emails from you through contact us page and through other pages. So thank you very much. So let's see what all things I have compiled in terms of training topic. And in case you feel like something I have missed out which I should be covering, do let me know. And in case you feel like no, something should not be part of this training, even in that case, just do let me know. So this is not the final list. I can do some like amendment. I can add something, or I can change something, or I can modify something, but I will be covering them in full detail, in depth, and I will also try to have a session which could be interactive. So possibly through Zoom or through Teams, I will be sharing it on the Sybase WhatsApp group, or even on my LinkedIn page, and those who can make it, they can join the session, and they can also ask questions at the same time, and I will be recording them, and afterwards I will be uploading them on the YouTube. That will be like private channels. It will be accessible only to those people who have subscribed to my training class. So there will be some amount which you have to pay to really go through all of them. However, for like in those one or two, I will be putting for public, so that they can see like what is the quality of training and all those things. So let's start. So this is like Sybase ASE training topic. This is what I have prepared, the number of list of topic. And as I mentioned earlier, if you feel that something I have missed out, do let me know. So let's start. So Sybase ASE training topic. So first thing that I would cover is the Unix commands, because for a DBA it is must to know certain basic command on Unix level. Otherwise, you may not be able to perform your day-to-day task efficiently. So certain command for VI, then other commands for DBA like copy things, move things, change the permission, chmod, own, and like few other things in terms of what all things are there, and then how to set the home directory and all that. So basic thing I will cover. And in VI we have many things like copy, paste, and how to save the content, how to delete the entry from file, all that. So this will be initial session. So it may not be required for all L2 or L3, but for L1 it might be required. And my session is not restricted to only L2, L3, even L1 people who are level 1, who are just joining the industry, IT industry as a Sybase DBA, they can also join. So this will be first thing that I would cover. Second thing, then I will get into the RDBMS. So this will be table, rows, columns, schema, and what is the ACID property, right? So I will be explaining them, and see like how are they relevant and how it makes sense in terms of Sybase. So this is not specific to Sybase, but this is for RDBMS. So this will be second session. Third, then I will come to clustered and non-clustered index. Then I will explain primary key, clustering key, and difference. There are a lot of misconception in primary key and clustered index and clustered key. I have asked, I have been taking interview for many people, and believe me, trust me, 99% get it wrong. Okay, so I will try to explain that and what is the misconception, how the primary key is linked to clustered key, and how the clustered key can be created without defining primary keys. I will try to explain all that. And I think I have recorded one more video wherein I have explained the difference, but still I will be covering that in a little bit more detail here. And possibly I will also do this through lab. I will explain like how to create a primary key without having it clustered, and also create a clustered key without having it primary key. So all that, unique key and foreign key, so how it is there. So this will be my third session. Then I will also explain about the transaction and isolation. So what is transaction, like committed, begin, trans, save point, all that I will try to explain. What is blocking, what is deadlock. Okay, so this is, I have asked many people, and then they often get confused in blocking and deadlock, and also what is locking. So even lock I will explain through transaction and also through isolation. So how can you have you can say, how can you encounter deadlock between two select statement? That is also possible through isolation. So I shall be covering that through lab. I have my lab ready, so all these things that I'm talking about, I will be explaining them on the lab, right? This will be Sybase 16, and then we will be covering that. Then locking and types of locking. So when you run a query, right, select something from a table, so even that case some sort of locking is applied, right? When you update something, so then there is different type of locking. Then when you delete something, then no, there is another type of locking. Then lock escalation. So all that thing you need to understand. So I shall try to cover all of them, and also show how the locks are really held, and what is the duration of lock, and how to prevent the lock escalation, right? So I shall be covering that. Then Sybase ASE installation. So I have Sybase in my Sybase installer, Sybase binary. So I will be installing that, and I will be showing you like what is the best practice, how do we start that, and what all things we should follow part of Sybase installation, right? Then I will be covering Sybase servers and backup servers. Okay, so once you install, then there is something called Sybase instance running. So that is called Sybase server, and then you will have backup server, which is used for the backup, right? When you take database backup, then you have to have backup server running. What is run file, interface file, binaries, and its location. So all this thing I will be explaining that in the session. Then I shall be explaining Sybase system table, what is SAP system procs, then what is master database and all that, and then I will also explain MDA table, how to enable MDA. I think I have covered that in one of my session. However, I will still go and explain MDA table, how to use them to derive to something, like finding the unused indexes, or finding how much what is the usage of index in a table or at database level. I will be covering those things also in this particular session. Then I will also explain about checking error log. So error log is very, very crucial and critical for Sybase. So you should know how to read error log. You should also see which all keywords are there which can really explain or give you hint like what could be the underlying issue. How are you going to do certain changes which can improve performance? For example, number of open objects, number of locks, and also certain things are there which gets printed in the error log. So how to read that and how to make sense of that. Then in case you have any stack trace and all that, how to make sense of that. So I will try to explain all that in my 8th session. So this does not mean that 8th session is like only one session. I can have one topic which can go for 2-3 sessions or even more, depending on the complexity, depending on the question that you are asking, depending on how deep we go. Okay, so it all depends on the audience, and also depends on what all things comes to our mind at that point of time, right? Then I shall be covering devices, databases, segments, database extension, DB options and its significance. DB options I will be covering a little bit more in depth, because I have asked multiple questions to people who have come for the interview, and I have seen that there are a lot of confusion. There are many who are not really aware of trunk log on checkpoint, what is the usage of that, how it impacts the replication. So in this one I am not covering replication right now. First we will go through Sybase ASE. Once this one goes through well and I get good feedback, or I get some like nice feedback, like how to make session even better, then I shall be covering about Sybase replication also, right? As of now I have already recorded many videos for Sybase replication, so you can go through them, and that should definitely help you in clearing interviews. But as far as concepts are concerned, I think I have covered a lot of them, but still I will also take some session on that, like training things, right? So I will be covering all this, and then you have default segment, system segment, you can have user defined segments, so all that I will be covering through examples. Okay, then Sybase configuration. So I will not be covering all the configuration, I mean it's not possible only, but I will definitely covering the configuration which will have good impact or positive impact in your environment. And I will also go through monitor config, all how to read the output of that, how do you derive something which has to be changed after seeing the output of monitor config, all right. So this will be this is something which I will definitely covering. Then what is logins, users, aliases, roles, groups and permission. So these all things look or sound like very basic thing, but once you go deep into that, people often gets confused. What is login, what is user, what is alias, and how do you really use that, and how can you have a user without having a login, or how can you have a login without having a user in database, right? So these things are there, which I will try to explain through example, so it will help you in understanding in a better way, right? So next I will be covering TempDB. TempDB is very, very important, and it becomes lot of significant once you do lot of things in terms of reporting, or in terms of something which requires heavy processing, right? So all this workdb1, workdb2, I've asked many people, they are not really aware about this table. So I will be covering all that, and possibly I will also be covering execution plan, I think, which I have not covered, which I have not mentioned in my list of topic, but maybe I will be covering that also. So how to create multiple TempDB, how to do the binding of TempDB through one login, or through what you call database, or through some table. So we'll cover all that. So we'll see how do you really do the changes, and how it really impacts your performance of query, right? Okay, then BCP is very important. I mean, most of DBAs are really somehow involved in doing BCP. So BCP and DDL gen, these things are really good to know, or nice to know, or I would say must to know. It's not only nice to know, it is must to know. So if you don't know that, so it will hamper your day-to-day activities, especially when you do anything to do between servers, right? So I will go through that as well. Then I will go through locking scheme and how does it really improve performance. So performance improvement is not only in terms of improving the duration of the query, rather it could be in terms of having less blocking or having less deadlock. Even those things come under the category of performance improvement. So once you reduce the lock escalation, that indirectly improves performance, right? So even that I will be covering. Checking database consistency, right? There are multiple commands that we use for database consistency, and then we will also see when should you run that, what is the impact of that, and when should you not run that, right? So even that I will be covering. Then DBCC and maintenance job, reorg and stats, so updating stats, updating index stats, updating all stats. Then reorg, it comes with multiple options, right? Like reorg rebuild, then reorg compact. So all those things we'll try to cover them, and we'll see which one could be best fit in your environment, because suppose it's a financial organization, or it's a bank, or it's an insurance company, so you may not really afford to have downtime, or any table which is not available. So we'll discuss those things also. So which one can really fit into your environment, and which one may not, because suppose you run reorg rebuild, so in that case table may go offline. So there is another command which we can use instead of reorg rebuild, right? So we'll cover that as well. Backup and recovery, actually this should be the first topic, because if you don't know this, then you may lose your job. So backup and recovery, I think I will be shifting that in the initial topic. So like how to perform backup, how to expedite the backup, and recovery. So how to restore database, how to use the multiple types of backup, and how to restore database from those backups. So if you have like full backup, if you have cumulative backup, if you have tran backup, then how are you going to use those backups to do the restoration? So I'll be covering that also. And types, I think I already have a video wherein I've explained the types of backup and how to do point in time recovery. So next one is I will be covering types of backup. So basically this backup and recovery, types of backup, all of this will go hand in hand. So phases in Sybase backup, RPO and RTO, recovery point objective, recovery time objective. Mind you, many people are not really aware what is RPO and RTO. So you should know, you must be knowing about that. This will definitely help you in planning your backup and scheduling it. Okay. Then point in time recovery, I already have one video wherein I explained that, but in the session we'll go in depth and we'll also show some example how to really do that. DB refresh and prerequisite. So how do you do DB refresh? So this is very basic job that even L1 people are asked to do. So you should know before starting refresh what all things should be there in place, and how to do the refresh. Like once you have backup from production, how do you restore it on the development environment or test environment, right? So what all things should be already there on that server, on the target server. So that is all which I have prepared right now. So I think I talked about one thing, which is execution plan. I think I will add that in the list of things. In case you feel something I have missed out which I should have been included, possibly I can also cover architecture in brief, like how does Sybase architecture looks like, and then we can get it going. So please pass your comment, your feedback, and also express your desire, like express your willingness whether you want to attend this session. Then I will be like seeing how many people are there who wants to really attend the course, and then based on that I will be sharing with you how much charges are there which you have to pay. Maybe you can pay in advance, and then I can share the link with you, whichever I'll be recording, and then you can watch them for next 1 year, so that in case you have some no like concern or question or no clarification, you can go back to the video and you can see that again. And in case you have some question which you are not able to find it in the video, you can even reach out to me any point of time. You can drop me an email, you can leave a comment on my YouTube channel, or you can leave your comment on my post in the website. So anywhere you can send me your question, and then I will be more than happy to answer that. So that should be all for now for the Sybase ASE training. Do let me know when do you want to start, and we shall be starting that very soon once I have the list of people ready, and then I will be doing the recording of this video. So thank you for liking my contents and really subscribing it. So thanks a lot and really appreciate your time. Thank you very much.